This is Larry Jordan, the host of the Digital Production Buzz. The following interview is an excerpt from a recent program. To hear the entire program, visit digitalproductionbuzz.com. Philip Hodgetts is the CEO of Intelligent Assistance and Lumberjack System. He's also involved with technology in virtually every area of digital production and post-production. Even better, he's a regular contributor to the Buzz. Hello, Philip. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
And a very Merry Christmas Eve to you.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
I wore my lumberjack and Christmas shirt just for you today. So
I appreciated that, yes, very much.
We're devoting tonight's show to take a look back at 2015 and see what some of the trends are, and I couldn't think of a better person to start with than yourself. So as you look back at the year, what trends come first to mind?
I think the nicest thing about 2015 is that it's been kind of a consolidation year. There's been nothing new and radical this year that's upset us and thrown us in a loop. You know, no completely new camera technology, no completely new editing system, no completely new codec. Okay, we're starting to have to deal with H.265, but it's a soft rollout. We don't have to worry about that too much just yet. So it's been a nice year of consolidation, and thank goodness for that, because we need one of those pretty regularly, because if we're constantly in turmoil every year, it's not good for just not good in general, because it's not good to be reinventing workflows every second week. So I think it's been a nice consolidation this year. It's the year that we've seen 4K production become routine, that it's no longer special. You know, 4K is, well, what you produce if you can afford to, if there's likely to be any legs on the program material. So it's also a consolidation year of getting smaller. I mean, those cameras, you know, we've got 4K GoPros, which are tiny. We've got micro cameras from Blackmagic Design and from other people, both studio and field cameras that are incredibly tiny compared with what we were used to. Now, of course, no one tool is perfect for every situation, but having these small cameras, small mounts, opens up a whole lot of new opportunities for production. This is the year that my partner Greg and I have produced a lunch video series where we simply go into a restaurant, put up a couple of GoPros, some microphones on people, and record a lunch conversation.
But I want to pick up on a word that you used. You called it a year of consolidation, and it doesn't sound like things are like companies are not acquiring other companies. They're not consolidating that way. It sounds more like everybody's taking a deep breath and it's a pause before the next big thing. Am I hearing that correctly?
Exactly. That was the intent, that not so much consolidation of companies being bought up or technologies being brought together, but simply a year where nothing too dramatically new was introduced. I can't think of a single, hugely dramatic release this year that changed the entire production world. We've had it in the past where we had the Red digital camera coming around and workflows associated with that. We've had it in 2011 with, Final Cut Pro 10 coming out. We've had it with a lot of the cameras from Blackmagic, who we weren't expecting to make cameras. So we've had years where there have been some fairly dramatic overturns, changes in the industry that have just created turmoil and the need to generate new workflows. Offline. How do we link these new media formats? Once we get those sort of initially conquered, and then it's nice just to be able to roll them out on feature film or production after production. It's those years where things are in turmoil that makes it very difficult for everybody in production to have to deal with this constantly changing terrain under their feet. And having some sort of stability for a while lets us consolidate workflows that work and that everyone is familiar with.
Two things that surprised me, though, on the software side. One was the rise of DaVinci Resolve. It has continued to evolve into now some people consider it an editing package of its own worth. And the other is the rapid development that Adobe's been putting Premiere through. It's not anywhere near the same software that it was a year ago. What do you think about both of those?
I think you're right. Both are exciting in their own way. I honestly don't really know what to make of DaVinci Resolve. I mean, certainly it is a basic editing platform at this point. It could probably still use a little bit better media management and some keyword ranges would be nice, but maybe that's proprietary to other people. But certainly Blackmagic are putting the effort into bringing in new features, and if they continue with 80 to 100 new features per year, then it gets to a point where it has to be taken seriously as an NLE, as well as a finishing tool, as well as a DIT tool for onset use. So they are building up from set to distribution tool there. I'm just not sure where the user base will come from. I certainly think new users will come into that, and the low, as in free price, will be very attractive. But I think the company that would need to be most concerned about the rise of DaVinci Resolve, particularly since it has collaboration built in, would be Avid, and it would be, I think, threatening their Media Composer product, except that Media Composer is so well entrenched that it probably doesn't. I see Adobe have done a lot of really, really great work with Premiere Pro and the whole suite, really. There are some really great innovations in there. I love the character animation tools that are in After Effects and in the standalone application. There are a lot to be done. They're certainly at the forefront of H.265 encoding. That'd be the easiest place to go to get H.265 encoding right now. And I read that today that Netflix are planning to re-encode their entire library in H.265 for more efficient distribution. At this point, nobody's got H.265 playback, but I guess that will come.
No, but I want to hold it. I want to pause on that for just a second. I'm really excited about what H.265 means for the future. And for the first time, we're now able to encode into it using Adobe Media Encoder. But I do want to put a word of caution in. And it being able to encode in H.265 doesn't mean anybody can play it back yet. So this is a time to experiment and see, but don't shift your library over to 265. Nobody's going to be able to watch it. Philip, we've talked about the fact that hardware seems to be on a plateau and there's bubblings in software, but nothing that really stands out. But the one thing we haven't talked about is distribution. And I think distribution has changed a lot this year. What have you noticed?
Certainly distribution has probably been the thing that's most disrupted this year. And I think we're seeing the beginnings of the disruption rather than the result of it. We already have a lot more program producers like Amazon, Netflix are out there, Google, YouTube. There's a lot of new players in the content space. And we're starting to see a lot of channels come through in apps on various devices, portable devices, Apple TV. So we're seeing the appification of channels, I think. Netflix, Amazon do come up on an Apple TV and other Roku devices and similar places as apps. So, the channel has become the app, I think. And that's
the appification of channels.
Appification of channels. You heard it here first.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Philip, what I want to do is this really blends us into not only where we've been in 2015, but where we're going next year. What I'd like to do is to invite you back next week, and let's take a look forward at what we could expect for 2016. Does that work for you?
That works for me. That's always a minefield to go through, but let's try it.
I was just thinking, we've been doing this look forward for years and years, and nobody's caught us yet. So let's see what happens for another year. For people who want to keep track of your writing, what website can they go to?
PhilipHodgetts.com is probably the best point of contact for me.
And the Philip Hodgetts himself is who we've been talking to. Philip is the CEO of Intelligent Assistance and Lumberjack Systems. And Philip, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
If you'd like to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. To stay connected and receive updates from The Buzz, sign up for our free weekly newsletter now. Or you can learn more about us on our website. And thanks for watching The Digital Production Buzz.